Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is What's Investing, and so I'll be showing you how to create your portfolio tracker and how you keep track of your investments on a day-to-day basis. So first off, you want to start off with a general table. You want to put some headings that will make some sense to you, so such as the name of your stock or fund, the initials that correspond to that stock or fund, the essentially how much you paid for it. So depending on if you've been buying it over many months or just a one-time purchase, you put the cost that you've put into that stock here, and then once the payment's gone through, you put the amount of shares that you've bought there, and then we'll get on to the rest. So once you've put in the information that I can't show you what to do, it's just what you've got, you just fill in your own stuff. These are just random for me, this is just an example. So once you've filled in your own details here, including this one, we'll get on to the cost per share. So to fill in this, you want to get the essentially the purchase price over time and divided by the shares. So in this case it would be D8, which is the cost, divided by E8, which will get you $3.13. So if we show you that, the cost per share for either top 50 is that. And that's how much you bought it for. And we'll get on to the rest of it after you fill in this. So another example is for this one, you just go D9 divided by E9 to get the cost per share for Australian top 20. And you can fill them in individually if you don't have many, but once you've done the first one, you can just grab this and drag it down, and it does it for you. So you can do that with the rest of these as well, apart from one of them. So the price per share is a little different. This shows you the current price of the share, and this will either be below, above, equal to the cost per share. So we use a function called Google Finance. So you type out equals Google Finance, and then you use this, you correspond this to your ticker. And if you don't know what your ticker is, if you go to Sharesies and just look at one of these, I'll go to one that's on here, so top 50, it's FNZ, which is the ticker. So here is FNZ, and since we're using New Zealand exchange, because America might have another company with FNZ, you do NZE, semicolon, FNZ, and then you put that either in here or just correspond it back to there, and it will give you the current price per share, which is $3.02, and if you look here, it's $3.02, so that works. There's a couple shares it doesn't work for, or funds rather, like I know this one doesn't work, or I just don't know how to do it yet. But yeah, so once you've done that, you just drag that down as well, and it'll give you the price per share for all of these. And these numbers here are just random, so they're not actual values, so don't take it into consideration. And yes, you just move on. You can calculate the difference, so the gain or loss between how much you bought them for and how much they're worth now, which is quite handy to know. So what you want to do for this is you want to get the current price per share, times it by the amount of shares you have, and then minus the cost per share times the amount of shares you have. So if you just look here, G8 times E8 minus F8 times E8, and that comes out to be negative 84 cents, which if you did the math, 8 times 3 is like 24, 16 cents, and it'd just be over 25, I think, or 25 exactly, yeah, 25 exactly, duh. So yeah, it'd be 84 cents difference. So you can just check it if you aren't sure about it. And then you do the same thing for the rest of them. You just add another number. I'm pretty sure you can just drag this one down as well. And yeah, you get your differences. And this is really handy to keep track of essentially if you're doing well or doing bad at the current stage, and don't let your emotions get it handy, otherwise it'll be quite bad. So another thing I like to do with the difference is kind of get a more visual aspect of it. So I make the negatives red because that's like, you don't want red, you don't want bad, you don't want to lose money. So you can change it to be accounting, because also I like to have it in brackets rather than a negative. It just is a lot more visual for me. And so you want to select the whole group of them, go more formats, custom number format, and this will look confusing but all you want to do is after that colon and before the underscore, you just want to go red with square brackets and apply it. So now the negatives will be red. So these three stocks are the ones that you're doing the best with. And that is really simple. If you didn't understand it, you could just watch back and just go over it slowly. It's quite simple. You just put red in where it is, and that's what I do to keep track. So at the moment it's looking pretty good. You got some information easily set up and just keep it moving. So equity is essentially the value of your position in each stock. So you get the price per share, which is the current value, and you times that by the shares. So in this case it's just G8 times E8, and you just repeat this all the way down. So if I just reveal that, that's your essential value in each stock, and these will be essentially the cost minus the difference, or plus the difference rather, and that is your value. And you can create a total equity value, so you just sum these up, and there is a formula for that, which I've got it down here. So it's equals sum, or enough capitals matter, and then you do in brackets I8 semicolon I13, which is a range. You can also click and drag, so you can just click here and drag like that, and it gets the range. And so your total equity is $232.18. And you can create a total cost here, which is kind of pointless in some ways because you've already got your cost there. So you can actually just delete this column and put the total cost down here. So you just go equals sum, and then you just grab the range, just go like that. And then if you double click the line in between here, it'll automatically resize to fit the biggest thing in here in each cell. So here we can clearly see that we're up $17.18. So you can create, say, a profit thing here, or you can just look at the difference. You can create a profit and just do equity minus cost and just have a positive or negative number there. So we'll just clear that. So the position is the percentage, let's add a percent to make it more clear, is the percentage kind of grab you have of the stock compared to your whole portfolio. So you want to compare the equity of the stock compared to the equity of the whole portfolio. So you want to do I8 divided by I20, or wherever your total is. And for this one, since this total is not moving up and down relative to that, it's just staying there, and this one's moving down. You want to put a $sign in between I and then 20 for the total, because it's not moving. That makes an absolute value. And then you can grab the corner and drag it down for the rest of them, because otherwise, if you don't have the $signs there, when the equity moves down to here, the total will also move down. So all these will be errors. So you want to make sure you don't do that. And that one's meant to be I8. And then you want to drag down like that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I had the number added on for some reason. And then you can also create just a sum of the portfolio, which will be 100%, because there's no reason it really wouldn't be. And you can just cut this off, and you can mess around with your style, essentially just adding different lines and messing around with everything to make it look good, like that. And I could add a line as well. It's quite fiddly, this, but once you get the hang of it, it's quite enjoyable to just kind of mess around with. There we go. So this is our basic chart. I've left all this blank space just because if you add anything extra to your portfolio, you just type in your stock, like Helen, that's nice about Hallenstein's, and then you just put in the ticker, the cost that you purchased, the share number, and then you just drag all of these down and it'll do the work for you. And it's really easy and it just works itself later. And yeah, so that's the basic spreadsheet and how you keep track of things. And this is a live tracker of the stock value, which is super handy, and it's just a really good visual way to keep track, because here there's a lot going on and there's numbers everywhere, and like it's really like it's grey and bland and there's so many decimals, and it's just there's pictures that are not really too useful to you, and it's grouped vertically, which I don't really like personally, since there's all this grey space that they can use. But this is just a simple way to keep track of it. And then with all this information, if you want to be more visual with your spreadsheet, you can select your position and then hold control to select something else and select your stock, and you can insert a chart. And this is the exact chart I wanted, and this shows your position percentage visually, so you can see the percentage of each investment and essentially how much it takes up in your portfolio, and you can size it down and move it around. And that's a good one to have, as you can just clearly look, oh, I've got most of my money in Trustpower, I need to in midcap, I might want to invest more in Berry Fuel or get some more investments in to diversify a bit more. And you could also do this with different industries, so you can group these into industries like energy, food, property, and just really make your simple spreadsheet complicated. You can also total how many shares you've got, just make it real simple, just boop boop boop. And of course you got 57 shares. That might mean nothing to some people, but it might mean something to some others. It's just simple information. And one of the things I like to do is you can add another column here and just I'm just going to make all the text here black because it's getting annoying now. You can name this one Dividends, and you could just put in all the dividends you've been paid over the year, month, day, week. You can create your own time period, so I'll just write dividends per year and say you're earning this many dividends. We'll put $3 there, we'll put 50 cents there. Since most of my money's here, we'll put $14, and we'll put $1 here and just make the money. And you can just be like, oh yeah, I'm earning some dividends, and you can sum it up. Grab that. You can be like, I'm making $20.01 dividends per year. That's a number. That's cool. But what if I've got a goal? A goal I want to achieve. You can grab this and just write dividends per week. You can do this off to the side so it doesn't cover up your portfolio, and you just do K, that'll be 20, and then you do divided by 52 because it's 52 weeks in a year, and you've got 38 cents. So you can use this number to insert a chart, and you want to go all the way down to gauge chart, so it's kind of like a speedometer in a car, and you can size it how you want. You can customize it, and you'll see what I'm doing in a second. So the max can be we'll go 10. So range color, so there's 5 things, 3 ranges, so we'll just go 0 to 3.33, 3.33 to 6.66, and then 6.66 to 10. So you just create your thirds pretty much, and you can close that, add a title, and just be like 2020 passive income per week goal. And there you go, you've got another visual aspect to add to your thing. And instead of looking at all this black and white, you can just scroll in here and be like, I'm getting closer and closer to my goal by 2020. Got 38 cents per week coming in. We want to get that to 10. How am I going to do that? Where are most of my dividends coming in? They come from here. Let's do something with that. So that's a simple way to just accumulate a portfolio tracker. You just keep chipping in your information, adding everything you need to, and just let it do it for you. And in no time, you will be just create a massive one like this. Mine's a little different. I haven't quite done some of these, and my headings are a little different. I've added in rough dividend dates because the ex-dividend date and actual payout vary with some of these companies, so I've just kind of given myself an indication of when my money's coming in. Most of it is June and December, and got the rough yields. I don't know if these are the gross or net yields, and that just gives me a real good indication of when and how my money's coming in. And I've got my own passive income goals and my investment goals, and I've also got my thing ready for 2020. So I've created a different kind of portfolio tracker for 2020. So this one just groups all of my funds here and all my stocks and shares, and it's basically just gonna list all the dividends coming in per month for each thing. And I'm going to add some more visual charts in the coming weeks, and just really take a grasp of what's going on around me with my money. Yeah, so that's my portfolio of my Sharesies account, and I'll keep you posted. I'm really enjoying losing money and gaining money and just learning. And yeah, recently Kiwi Property Group sent out an email to its kind of shareholders before a certain date and offered a public issue. So I got in on that just to experience my first kind of investment into the actual company rather than trading with other people. So they actually gained the capital that I gave them. And I bought $39.50 worth of shares for 1.58, I think I bought there or something. Hasn't popped up yet since I haven't actually got them yet. Don't know when that will come in, so if they bounce back from here, I'll make a big profit on that. Yeah, so keep working on it, guys, and I'll be coming up with a 2020 goals for me, and also a report on how I've been doing this year, just overall. I will keep you guys updated. Also, I forgot to add, if you are looking to invest and you're not already investing, for New Zealand customers, there is a simple way to do it through Sharesies. Yes, I do have an affiliate link for this platform, so if you do sign up using my link, I do get $5, but there is no reason not to start investing now. You don't even have to use my link, it is just something to benefit me. So it's as easy as signing up using an email account and just putting as little as $5 in. You can put less than $5 in, I'm pretty sure, and you just start investing into this platform and just learning through investing into the NZX, all its companies, its features, its auto investments, its funds, and it's free for $50 or less. And only $1.50 a month, between $50 and $3,000, which I know many of you young investors will not have anywhere near $3,000 like me. I'm barely breaking $1,000 at the moment, and that's taken me March till now to gradually get up there. So yeah, if you haven't started investing yet, or you're not on Sharesies, get in there and give it a go. Happy investing.